All right. So I believe we're recording. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going
We
on,
just
Joe?
we just
Rick?
finished week 8. And we're on to week 9. I got Ricky and Marv here to do the newsletter. The PTO squad. Some of them, minus Vern.
Vern's injured.
Yeah, Vern's injured, so yeah, he's skipping this one.
He's on IR.
Yeah, just like the rest of his team. Yeah, so basically we'll start it out. The trade deadline is coming up next Friday. We've had a couple trades already, so we'll start by discussing these trades. I'll let you guys do your trade first, and then you can kind of throw it back at me about my trade from last week. So today we had, or it was today or yesterday, I don't remember.
It was today, this morning.
This morning we had Ricky send Gibson, which he got in our deal, which is nice. I'm glad you're able to profit off of him. Over to Marv for a 6th-round pick, and Gus Edwards was thrown back in the deal. And I'll let you guys talk about it. What was the reasoning? Are you throwing in the towel, Ricky? I guess that's the question I want to know. Are you throwing in the towel with that one?
Well, truth be told, like Marv hit me up about it, and I wanted to see what was going to happen this week, and I won. But after I saw your Kyler Murray move, man, that was a power move right there.
Yeah, that was a power move. It was.
Try to make it tough.
I didn't know. I don't know. That was kind of discouraging. But it wasn't really about throwing in the towel. It was the price was right. I kind of had him maybe 5th, high 5th, low 6th kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Marv hit me up about it, and I figured, I might as well get something out of this season.
I think it was 2 weeks ago, right? Or at least prior to this week, right?
I slept on it for a minute.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure what his value was. I actually deferred to Rick on it.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
I felt like he's a high flex. I really don't want to make trades. I didn't want to make trades this year. I kind of felt like every year I've done that, and they haven't really worked out. But I had 2 players on a bye. Kareem Hunt was on bye. I got Jamal Williams out for the week.
Yep.
Aaron Jones is questionable. I'm not even sure the game is going to play. And I got Hilaire, but I'm not sure what to even think about Hilaire. And I got Chase Edmonds. So I knew I needed to do something on running back. Cam Akers has not panned out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, my 4th-round pick, right? So, I was kind of mulling, trying to get another back and who to go for. And, you don't want to be disrespectful to every owner because every owner is trying to win games as well. So I just hit Ricky and said, hey, what do you think about Gibson? What do you think his value is? And we settled on the 6th-round pick.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the value was good there. I thought it worked out well for both of you. Especially, I wasn't sure. I was kind of surprised with it. I didn't know if Ricky, because like you said, you got the win last week. And I know we'll get to the standings and stuff later, but I mean, there's that big jumble at 4-4, 3-5 for the I guess the 4th spot right now in the playoffs. So it's still up for grabs. If nothing else happens with the top 3, but it's an interesting move. I like the move. I liked him when I traded him to Rick. I was trying to get him to take Freeman, and but I brought up instead of Gibson.
Wait. Freeman? You talking about Devontae Freeman?
Freeman came off a couple good weeks, and I was like,
Devontae Freeman?
I was seeing if he would bite, but
He was trying to pull a melon.
I said, I gotta try, man.
I had to make sure he wasn't talking about Antonio Freeman.
No,
the Packers coming back to play.
I was selling him the tight end. I was like, well, I should throw a running back in. What do you think about Freeman? And then it was kind of like, oh, I also have Gibson. He was like, I could tell right away. He was like, nah, I'd rather. I mean, he was smart. I know Ricky's smart. I knew I wouldn't get it by him.
Right.
So I was upset to get rid of him. And then to see Ricky get rid of him for a pick, I was like, I respect that move. That was good.
The minute you threw Gibson in there, man, it was like, if you're gonna put him in,
I felt like I thought for a minute to try to just push for giving you a pick, but I like the idea of not giving up a pick yet.
Not a pick, yeah. Sometimes you gotta evaluate that, yeah.
because I knew I had another move. Like I
The move
waited.
for you actually, I mean, by not giving up a pick, it allowed you to do what you did with
To
Kyler.
get the Kyler Murray.
Exactly. Yeah, because I
Because
figured
that would have hurt.
I figured I would have a quarterback move at some point. I remember even talking to Rick during that. I was like, "Hey man, I might come back to you. You got Rodgers and Cam." It was at the time when Cam, I was like, maybe he'll
At the
come
time,
back.
that looked good, right?
I was like, maybe he'll come back. Maybe I'll hit you up and I'll actually give you a pick for one of your guys. But
Right.
I was
And
like,
Cam is a meatloaf now. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so it brought me to the Kyler trade, and
total meatloaf. I'm sorry, my bad, Cam. Sorry,
that did
Cam.
not pan out the way I expected.
I thought it was great. I thought you were looking good with that.
No, he was.
I was really hoping that.
No, he was killing it the first 2 games. I was like, man, Rick stole him, really.
Yeah.
You know,
the time he got him in the draft.
Like after he started doing his nonsense, and then I named my team 2 and a possible. I'm like, shit, this possible is really looking hard.
Yeah.
Because I went hard and got the first 2, and then the possible never came.
No, you know what's funny, Rick? I played you that week. Was it 2 weeks ago? And I had no idea when I looked back at the end of the standings of that week, it showed 5 losses. I had no idea you had lost 4 in a row and you won your first 2 games. I didn't know that. So I was surprised. It's hard to lose. It's hard to lose 5 games. I don't care how hard you try. Right? So sometimes it's bad luck.
Bro, it was a lot of bad luck. It was like people performing. You know, I mean, 1 week Jeremy I think put up like 180 on me.
Yeah,
and you put up 170 on me.
Right. Yeah, that was I didn't expect
1 week
that.
I played Raph and Jefferson went bananas.
Oh,
yeah, you had like kind of that monster row of like good going against good teams too.
The good teams, the wrong teams that wrong week, right? Yeah. That was me last year. I felt I lost 11 games and I slept walk through the season last year. I don't know how that played out like that.
Yeah, so it was rough, but I mean, I figured I had a chance to at least come up to number 4 to make the playoffs, but it's looking rough with Bad News Bears and homie over here. So.
My homie's trade worked out.
That really worked out. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I thought it was I thought Baskin Robbins made 2 good deals, honestly. I mean, I thought he made a good gamble trying to upgrade the receivers. But Amari Cooper has turned to a pumpkin now with those QBs over there. You know, Ben DePasta over there, and who's playing this week? Garrett, somebody, and
Rush. We don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the Dallas players are like useless at this point. You know?
Yeah.
So
I think
kind of worked out for
the Dalton came back this week or something.
Mm-hmm. Who?
Dalton, Andy.
Yeah, I don't think he's back, right?
No, he's on the COVID list now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's on COVID.
Yeah, him and Stafford both.
This week. Yeah, I know. I saw Stafford was gone.
It's him and Stafford. Yeah, Dalton, COVID reserve list. I don't know if it was a close contact or yes, he has it, but they don't disclose that generally. But
yeah, I think Stafford has a chance to play because his close contact was on Monday, so he might be able to get cleared.
Dalton, I'm not sure about. Did you hear about? I can't remember.
No, I haven't heard the specific. But like to me, what is Dalton going to do there either? Like, I mean, I guess he might get them the ball a little more, but like, I don't know.
I mean, he's a decent quarterback. He has looked. He did look bad against. Forget the team he played and he got hit.
Washington.
On Washington. But they got a good front, and that line is bad too. But at least Dalton, he can keep Cooper value at least at a decent floor, and maybe Lamb. But you have no chance with the pasta over there, Cooper Rush, or
absolutely
that's not gonna work. Those guys are just.
I was actually very surprised by Andy Dalton not being able to get anything over there because that offense that McCarthy has. I mean. Dalton, what he did in Cincinnati showed that he can get the ball through.
No, he's a competent QB. Yeah. I think it's the line. I think that's the story that's not really being talked about. That line has taken a lot of hits. I mean, you're talking about what? Travis Frederick retired.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith out. La'el Collins out for the year. I mean, you're missing your 2 tackles and your center. And you can't tell me who the guys are starting now. I don't know. Yeah. I was shocked. I was talking to Aaron because Aaron's a Cowboys fan. And early in the year, I think we were watching the first game of the season, or maybe it was Cowboys were playing some Monday night, Sunday night game,
Mhm.
and their right tackle was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
I'm like,
which is
what?
crazy.
I was shocked to find that out. I'm like, in the NFL, putting an undrafted free agent is unheard of as your tackle. So,
Yeah, they're hurt.
yeah,
I mean, you can
I
see it
kind of
with
knew they
Zeke
were
too.
hurt already. Right.
You can see it with Zeke
Now,
too.
here's the thing, though. If you're saying it's the line, what does that say about Dak? Because Dak was
mean,
breaking records earlier.
It's amazing. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
everybody was pointing towards the defense.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I think they got a couple more injuries since, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
still.
since Dak come on, but you're right. Dak, it says a lot about Dak.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to play above all of that. Also, Zeke looked better too. I mean,
He
Zeke
did.
looks like, I don't know who Zeke looks like right now.
Not good.
Right. He's
Not
a
good.
little shit, and I
It's
can't say that's
frustrating.
all lines. Some of his Zeke, some people just don't. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't want to act like Zeke is not a good player, but
no,
he's not helping his team. Let's put it like that.
No, he's not. He's not having.
He's part of the problem right now. Not the solution, obviously.
All right, so I'll move off Cowboys, everyone's favorite team to pick on right now.
Stephen A. Smith, right?
Yeah. I guess just touch on the Kyler trade a little bit. Hit up Vern. Didn't know if he'd be available. Ended up getting him. It was the one move that I thought I needed to make, at least until this week when I lost Kittle. I don't know. I might have another move in me. We'll see. But
Jorno's back up.
Yeah,
he's available.
Yeah. But for sure.
Who's available, Rick?
Juno Smith.
I don't think I could get him back.
Trade him back.
I don't think it's
allowed.
I don't think it's allowed. But that's fine.
Yeah, that was I don't root for injuries, but when I saw it, I was like, man, that's a hit. That's a hit.
Yeah,
that was another thing, right? That was another thing. Not to go back on this, but the week after I got Jonah, right, and I put him in there.
Yeah.
Right, he plays the first 5 minutes and injures his back.
Yeah, I felt bad about that one. But you got a good week out of Gibson before you traded him,
Pretty much, yeah. So none of those have materialized.
How's Allen playing since you traded for him?
Good. He's doing what I want. I wanted that 20-point solid wide receiver a week.
Well, he's giving you 20 every week now?
Yeah, basically. Which he was doing that before really. Like he was a solid.
Listen, I got Justin Herbert, best waiver wire pickup of the year for me. And I have no idea what his receiver's doing. I just know Herbert's going off.
Well, that's why Ricky had a bunch of receivers and I was like, I really want Allen. I saw Herbert, the usage, the target rate that he was getting, it's 30%, something like that when he was on the field. I was like, the way Herbert's slinging it, I was like, I kind of need that steady thing, and then I'll mix in Woods and with the other, I can't remember the guy, the Carolina guy. I was like, I'll mix those two in, and hopefully, Woods had a good week this week, so it worked. And no, Marv has Robbie Anderson. I have the DJ Moore, and he had a couple good weeks there last week. Not as good. It's kind of hit or miss with him. But the Murray trade I hope sets me up. Because that was the one weak spot I was struggling with all year.
What do you do with to replace Kittle? Who's your backup now? Do you have one?
Well, I ended up getting the two waiver guys I wanted. They were my top two priorities. Was Cook to fill in this week, and I was able to get Reed, Kittle's backup, because they still throw to the tight end. They throw to the tight end a lot, whoever's in there. So how to make it work? I don't know.
Yeah.
If anyone wants,
good pickups.
I might try to make a move. If anyone's got any tight ends, they're looking to sell. Maybe I'll make another move, but I don't know how I feel about giving up many more picks. I know I'm trying to go all in this year, but I also don't want to screw myself next year either. With missing a lot. So I don't tend to nowadays not try to make as many trades, but I thought when Vern told me Murray was available or that he would trade him for the right price, I had to go for it.
I gotta say, I was surprised that he was available. I thought about maybe reaching out, but I was like, man, I don't think that. After the Mahomes thing went through, I was like, I don't think.
Probably a good idea, Rick. I don't think Vern would have traded him to you. Trading to the enemy, I don't know about that. Brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to contact Vern about this.
No, but listen, it might have been a 4th round pick for you and a 10th.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could trade him to you. Yeah, how about your 4th, your 8th?
I mean, how about the whole draft?
Yeah.
Right. Nah, but
Yes.
he's played. I was shocked how well he's been playing. I didn't know because I
didn't know
was telling
really
you,
either.
Germ. Yeah, I went looking for QBs because I have Herbert. I'm confident with him, but Ben has been awful, and I drafted Carson,
Mm-hmm.
and I dropped him early because I didn't trust what I was looking at anymore. The O line, the receivers falling apart.
He
Like
was on
he
and
had a
off
couple
my
of good
team too.
right.
Yeah.
He had a couple of good weeks and rebounded, but I just couldn't trust him long haul. I like, man, I might have missed the boat on a QB now. So I pick up Ben, and then you think with all those weapons, you know, he would be a top 10 QB. He's top
hit
20.
Hit or miss.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The
it seems like
offense
there's
is
a
on ball
lot of
control.
a lot of those guys that are huddling in that like 12 to 20 range. Some weeks they're giving you that 30, 28, 25, and then other weeks they're like 12, and you're like, you don't want a 12 sitting there when you
Listen,
play.
I lost my only game this year. Although, overall, I only scored 121 points, but Ben was the main reason I lost. I lost by 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
Ben gave me 14 that week.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? You can't get that from a QB.
No. And that's what it was. I was looking.
Gardner Minshew got at least 20, 25, 26.
Yeah, I was looking at that every week where it was like maybe I got the stream right, but it was just like half the weeks the QB was glaring at me. Like, and looking back at the draft, I was like, maybe I need to reevaluate and like pick a QB a little higher in this league going forward.
Yeah, people downplay it. Fantasy world downplays it. But when you got a stud that's giving you 28, 29, 30 points, maybe 35, it makes a big difference. That could win you some games, sir.
Absolutely.
The thing about QBs in fantasy, and it only started happening in the last couple of years, where you got to have, I mean, with Mahomes and like Lamar Jackson and these guys, right? You need to have a QB now that's scoring 30 plus every game. Right. Before you could have had somebody that did 25 or whatever.
And that was okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. The baseline has changed.
And that goes back to like back in the day, you could have scored 130 and still win a game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's almost like the QB and that hot wide receiver that he's throwing to that week. They could make that week for you. That makes that week 180 rather than like 150 or 130 or
isn't that what they do? I never play DFS, but isn't that what they do, like the stacking and all that?
Yeah, I'm not even saying you need that receiver, but whoever had that receiver with that hot QB, even if he's on another team, that guy's getting 40 that week, or DK is getting 40, or like what's the space, like if you have Jefferson gets 40, Adams and Rodgers, even if you don't have Adams like Ricky does, that works out nice when you have them both. But like you saw with Gene the 1 week, Gene had Wilson and Lockett. It helps.
And Lockett going off the same week, right?
I don't necessarily like subscribe that you need to do it, but I mean I've thought about it in the past. But when you have one of those top guys, like if you could do the Mahomes,
they could pull out a win.
The Mahomes Hill, the DK Wilson, in the future Dak again, and CeeDee Lamb or something, even like help out if you got one of those hot QBs that are giving you 40 because they're throwing to someone.
Yeah. I think that was AC's plan, right? Doesn't he have CeeDee Lamb? Who has CeeDee Lamb?
No, Ramel has CD, I think.
Ramel has CeeDee Lamb. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I do think it's true. Like QBs. The past couple of years I've been going. I mean, I didn't do well last year, but this year I was like, I kind of need one of these guys. That's why I did that trade.
Yeah, no, they make a huge difference. I mean, now too, I think so. Two things: you got the evolution of the NFL now with the passing league and defenses not being so strong. So, I mean, look at that game. That was probably the greatest game this year, and last year or the last few years was the Arizona Seattle game. That was entertaining.
Absolutely,
competitive, entertaining. Balls being thrown all over the field, some great throws. I mean, and great defense too. I mean, Peterson, I thought, covered Lockett pretty well a couple of times.
He did, yeah.
Just amazing throws and catches, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't defend that any better.
And it's the scrambling too. They're
scrambling. Right. So you got Murray
I mean, that's
all over the field
Murray's
running around.
Tell you the truth, that's what Murray and Jackson are getting a lot of their points, and Josh Allen for that fact. When he was, he get the rushing touchdown that matters.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
So you have those guys now probably throwing for 2 or 3 and then running for 1.
Exactly. When they run for
although
one,
Lamar is a little off this year, right?
A little off, but that's what it was last year. That's why he was
right. Even I remember when I had Deshaun Watson's first year, he was killing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like 4 or 5 touchdowns every week in the air, and then he's running on the ground too. So,
so
it make a difference.
Runs
they make a difference.
Is what builds it up. Like that's how Cam got his numbers again.
Cam was always Cam started that trend really. When you really think about it, Cam was the first real true dual threat running back. You know, and it's kind of been ushered since.
So I guess to get back on the topics, we touched on our trades. The trade deadline coming up next Friday. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple more moves in here. We're going to do the power rankings in a minute. Maybe we'll touch on potential moves when we're looking at those teams, because there's a few squads that are trying to push for a playoff spot. Maybe it's time they make a move. Or even one of the top guys, like you just made a move. I made a move to shore up your spot for the push towards the end. So we'll do the power rankings. We're going to do them a little different, kind of doing them in tiers. We'll talk about the teams that are in the tiers and then break down what we think the differences are between who's the better teams in that tier. So I got the 4 tiers. We got the favorites. We have the contenders. We have the pretenders, and then we have the surrenders in this league. So I think we'll start off with the surrenders. I'm only gonna put 2.
The D12 band.
Yeah,
okay.
The D12. I'm only gonna put 2 squads, two teams in this category. We're gonna put only 2. I'm only gonna put 2 yet, because there's a jumble there after that. But the 2 has to be the infirmary, Vern over there, Mr. IR, and then Baskin Dobbins made a couple trades, but he said earlier the Cooper trade ain't working out. And so Brett is struggling. He's at 2-6. Vern's at 1-7. I'm gonna put them in the surrenders. So this is kind of the competition right now. We'll see. Anything can happen. 5 weeks left, but they're fighting for that number 1 pick next year. Who do y'all think is the favorite for that number 1 pick right now?
It's unfortunate, man. I think it's got to be the infirmary, and not because he doesn't have a talented squad, but everything's gone wrong. I mean, down to Michael Thomas. I mean, you would have thought he was out for the year, right? I mean, you would have thought he tore his ACL. I mean, he's actually just hasn't played. So just off his misfortunes, and he had a solid team, but yeah, it's probably got to be him, because I don't even think he just has the guys.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could say is maybe if one of those dudes come back, I mean, he's gonna get Thomas back. Maybe he gets a couple wins. But I don't know if he's trying to get wins right now. To tell you the truth, he might just.
He might be angling them. Right?
Yeah. We know Vern. He's got that eye on that number 1 pick next year. I haven't looked at the running
with your bench at empty spots. You know?
Yeah, he's already surrendered. He's under the guillotine already. Yeah.
He might as well change it to the surrenders.
It's funny, like looking at the luck he's had. I mean, I don't pay attention. I mean, I like looking at the stupid ESPN tracker thing, the power rankings they got on there. And after draft, he was number 2 ranked, and then now he's all the way down to 10. That just shows how much he's been beat up. Like it's pretty crazy.
It's really rough. I mean, even I remember when he lost Barkley, and I said, you know what? If anybody could lose a Barkley,
it would be him.
It probably was his team, because he had Jonathan Taylor too.
Yeah, he had Taylor,
which was, who I was pretty high on. But I mean, last week was weird, right?
And then Thomas
did nothing.
Marquise Brown, who I was high on, hasn't been living.
I thought that was a great draft pick when he made it.
Odell, Zach Ertz, and who's the other big one? Kenyon Drake and Mostert. Like all these guys are beat up.
Mostert, another guy who was playing well before he got hurt too. Yeah.
I mean, he'll be back
twice.
Too. He'll be back
hurt twice, Mostert, right?
He'll be back. So maybe with him and Thomas back, maybe he'll.
No, he's done. Mostert's probably gone in 2 weeks.
I'm just trying to give him a little glimmer of hope, but I really
he's cooked.
I think he's going for that number 1 pick. So So we'll move on. I'm going to skip all the way ahead to favorites. And to me, there's two teams I'm putting in there. And that's the 7-1 teams. That's Raf and you, Marv, 7-1. I'll throw this question over to you. Head to head, who's the better team right now?
You know what? I don't know. Raf, unfortunately, hasn't had his full squad. I think McCaffrey makes a huge difference. We've seen what Cook can do when he's cooking. So, I mean, if I have to be honest, I think his running backs are obviously better when they're healthy and playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have the advantage of wide receiver. I like my crew. I like them prior to the season. I like them more now. Thielen, A.J. Brown, when they're rolling, they're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And can probably go head-to-head with most teams. We'll see with AB. I got AB. We'll see how that plays out. But I got a funny feeling AB turns out to be a difference maker. So
I do too.
Yeah. I like my tight ends. They're underrated. They're unknowns. Noah Fant and
they'll do it right. Yeah.
TJ. But and then Herbert. I think Herbert. Listen, I think I put Herbert with Kyler Murray and some of the best.
I agree.
I think he's top 5 the rest of the year. He has great schedule, great weapons. He's playing well. He doesn't look like a rookie. I'm kind of jealous. I wish he was a Giant. I like Daniel Jones, but Herbert looks different.
Herbert looks
special.
Yeah. He does.
He looks special.
I think a running back depth, especially with the move you just made, is solid. I mean, you're going to have probably some questions on who you play at some point once the
back. That's definitely.
I mean, you've got Aaron Jones. You'll have Hunt, but then Chubb's going to come back like maybe next week, and then you've got Gibson. You got Edwards, Hilaire, and Edmonds, who might get some for a little bit. So I mean, it's a wealth of riches there. It's just a matter of who you plug and play.
It's a deep crew. You're right.
Let me interject here for a second, because while I agree that Marv and Raph got the best team, 1 and 2 is debatable. I really do think you belong in that conversation too, Jerome.
Well, I appreciate
it. The move to get Kyler Murray was huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that your 0.4 is like 12.08, which is 8 points better than Raph, was the most right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, and with Kyler Murray putting up the kind of numbers he's been putting up and running the way he has, I think that puts you squarely in the conversation.
All right.
So I honestly think that your contenders should be 1, 2, and 3.
The favorites, yeah.
Fresh Prince and Pillaging.
I've thought about doing it, but I didn't want. I was looking at them. I was like, there is that gap between the top 3, based on record and points for. Well, record mainly, and I was like, but I don't. I didn't want to toot my own horn yet. I don't want to throw the jinx on me, but
I can't say. What's the middle group? Pretenders.
Well, it's contenders, pretenders. We're going to decide who we think has a shot.
I don't think you can. Yeah, I mean, I have to piggyback what Rich said. You can't be a pretender. So, although I understand what you're saying with the tiers based on the records, perhaps, but you got to be a contender at this point.
All right.
It's a solid squad.
Honestly, I think there's a fight to pick up the 4th spot for the playoffs. Yeah. But I think the top 3 is pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And just so Raph gets some shine a little bit. I mean, you got to admit the Dalvin Cook coming back this week and the performance he threw up, that it's pretty special. And if he keeps on rolling, he's looking good. He made that trade for Mark Andrews, and then he's getting McCaffrey back probably this week, and he's got Metcalf and Ridley. Like, that's solid squad, and Jefferson.
I think Metcalf keeps his team really afloat. I don't know what's going on with Ridley. I haven't followed, although I'm noticing he's ranked 1 still. So I didn't know he was even balling still. But DK's been forget about it. I mean, So next to what? Devontae Adams? Is there anyone balling like that?
No, I mean no. It's him. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll call those 3 teams the favorites. So that leaves 5 teams left. And this is where I want to talk. There's basically, if we're calling those 3 the favorites, then there's 5 teams fighting for the 1 playoff spot, or anything happened, but let's say that they're fighting for the 4th playoff spot. And we're gonna.
Well, Ricky's not fighting no more, so we can't say.
That's why I said we're gonna separate these guys between contenders and pretenders. These 5 teams. We'll let you 2 decide who's a contender, who's a pretender. between these 5 teams for that last spot. So we got Gene, he's 4-4. We have Plunkett, 4-4. We have Romel, 3-5. We have Ricky, 3-5, and we have Aaron, 3-5. So let's talk about. We'll do the pretenders first. Who of that group is kind of dead in the water, and we.
Mel.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
No proof. Listen, I got a lot of. He's been. I don't need any proof. No proof. The proof is in his team right now. Listen, I got a lot of love for Mel, and he's been solid most years. He's probably had the greatest season in his league, 12-1, I believe. I was very impressed that year. But man, this year, I tell you what, he started on the wrong foot, keeping Le'Veon Bell. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you keep Bell over Eckler or even Gordon, but you got to keep Eckler, and that was the first mistake. Now, granted, no one sees injuries. We didn't know he'd be hurt, but that was the play. I mean, Bell is useless. And he doesn't got much else, right? Am I right?
He's got Jacobs, and he's got Watson, and he's got Julio. Julio's playing better. The past couple of weeks, Julio's is almost back to the one.
That's short-lived, though. I don't see that lasting.
Yeah, it's hard to say that because he's your keeper, right?
Yeah.
And you at least expect him to be top 5, top 10, right?
I think he'll get there. He's 21. Yeah, I guess.
That's pretty rough, man.
But he's had a resurgence after this coach change. 33, 17, 20.
He's been hurt? Has he been hurt?
Something changed with the coach change where he's getting burnt. He's looking like the number 1 target there now. Like Ridley, it's no longer – but it could coincide with Ridley being hurt. So, you don't know.
He had – okay, I'm looking now. Weeks 2 to 5, he was just non-existent.
Yeah.
And he's kind of picked it up. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't disagree about I think that running back spot is going to hurt him. I think out of the other pretenders there, he might be the better squad right now. But CeeDee Lamb, like you said, CeeDee Lamb not being what he is anymore, that hurts because of the QB situation.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb. That's a good point. You know what? I'm looking at his team because you know what? I'm glad we're doing this. I don't really look at everyone's rosters like this, but he's had some unfortunate things going on here. I mean, Mike Evans should be also another guy, top 15 at worst. Yeah. Top 10. Julio Jones, they're 19 and 21 respectively. You're looking at you're right. The running backs, he kind of can't say it's all Bell too because he had Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary isn't done much.
Yeah. No.
So that's kind of killing him too. Jacobs.
It's killing.
I know Jacobs was going hot, right? At one point,
he had a good first week. He had a good last week, but in between, he hasn't been doing much. The Raiders' offensive line's been banged up, so he hasn't been getting the runs. I think he'll have a better second half of the season, but like it's been a struggle for him.
It's been a struggle. And Deshaun Watson, listen, I drafted him in another league. Yeah. I thought he'd be a top 5 guy. He's had an uneven season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can see why he's
unfortunate stuff. Yeah.
But 3-5 is a tough hole to dig out of. But like I said, for that last spot, I mean, they're all 4-4, 3-5. So you don't know. So
I mean, you see right now. Look who he's starting though. It's tough. It's hard to get out of his hole. Yeah. Dexter Williams and Bell. Yeah. It's not going to give you much.
So the other one, we're saying Ricky is a pretender there. He threw it. It seems like he's throwing it in. I don't disagree. Like I thought. Everyone, like, we were ranking you high early on. We thought it was going to come through. And then just when, like you said, you ran into some tough matchups, but it's tough. It's not looking good right now. Mike Davis.
I'm definitely pretending.
Your Mike Davis run is over.
He put up a lot of points, but
he did. It was a good move. It was a good move getting him. But your wide receivers are going to hold you down, but I don't know. And Aaron Rodgers. But Chris Carson being hurt, but he's probably going to come back. It's going to be tough.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm pretending all day.
It's the running backs again.
I mean, that possible was real hard to get. You know what I mean? But listen. My pretenders are definitely myself, Ghostface Killer, and I'll throw Mel in.
Yeah. Well, let's hit on Aaron a little bit. He's running with bad luck. I mean, as a fellow Elliott owner, we talk about it. It's been rough. And D Swift is finally maybe coming on, but I still don't know what Detroit's doing.
They still haven't released him. Yeah, release DeAndre Swift, guys.
And then Juju and Godwin, And, you know, he's
Yeah,
got my guy Marvin Jones in his flex this week.
you know it's rough when you got Marvin Jones.
Galladay went down, but I saw him without Galladay early in the season.
He did nothing. He did nothing.
Great.
Yeah.
I agree. So
That's
those are our pretenders, I guess we'll go with. So that leaves, let's go with the contenders.
honestly, I'm gonna be honest, man. I gotta take that from Mel back.
You're taking it back?
Meaning, I think the lowest of the pretenders might be. I hate to say this, man. Ghost Fit Killers. This is a rough squad.
Yeah.
I take Mel's squad over this. This is rough.
All right, so I kind of like that. I liked having 3 contenders still for that last spot. So we'll bump Romel back up into contenders, and then we'll go with.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying Mel's contender. But if I had to rank the pretenders, I think Ghostface is on the bottom rank.
He's at the top of them. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, probably 6, and then myself.
Okay.
And then. You know,
so then we're looking at for the other 2 for that last playoff spot potentially, if everything goes the way it's been looking, they're going to be dueling out for it's Plunk and it's Gene.
Yep.
So who do you think out of these 2, who makes the playoffs? Who has the better spot?
That's a good question. They're pretty even too.
Yeah, I think Bears have the better squad, but I think Mahomes just hot right now.
Yeah.
He has a healthier squad and has some guys just a little bit more consistent at this time.
And I think Gene's struggle is the running back spot right now. Like
right.
I mean, he's got Melvin Gordon, but he's not hitting all the time. And Henderson.
No, Melvin Gordon is terrible.
And what it is though, you got to watch out. He's got Mixon, he's got Chubb. Mixon might be back next week. Mixon might be back next week. So it's like, but when they come back, maybe he makes a run.
It might be too late. That's the problem. I'm hoping that's not the case. But I don't know. Are they coming back next week? Because I thought maybe another 2 weeks. I
was hearing Chubb might be week 10, and I don't know about Mixon.
Right.
Chubb might be week 10.
Listen, I'm gonna disagree with you guys on this one. I'm gonna give the 4th spot to Bad News Bears. I think you really with Russell Wilson, DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
I think he has enough there to. I mean, Russell's balling out.
Yeah.
Mahomes he's had some weeks. I think 1 week he did something like 18 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not gonna have a 5. He's not coming up against the Jets every week.
I think I'm with you because diving into Plunkert's roster a little more. He's got Mahomes. He's got Kelsey. That's awesome. But looking at his second wide receiver and his flex, it's skeptical. He's got DJ Dallas in his flex.
What are you saying? Is doo-doo?
Yeah, because he's lost Galladay. He's got DJ Chark without Minshew. He's got P. Ryan. He's got Bernard. And Bernard is only good as long as Mixon's out. So it's really – he's going to struggle to fill that wide receiver 2 and that flex where I think
right.
I think Gene will be able to fill that.
No, you're right. No, I take that.
Healthy.
I take that back. I'm looking at again. I don't analyze everyone's roster like that. Sure.
No, I don't. We're doing it right now. We're doing it right now.
Right. The bench is tough over here for Mahomie.
And to tell you the truth, I mean, going back to it, I know we don't want to, but Romel might be right there with this team. Like it's 3-5. They're playing each other this week. That might be the matchup of the week to me. Is
Bears and Romel are playing?
I think Plunk and Romel are playing.
Plunk and Romel, gotcha. You're right.
So if Romel gets that, I mean,
that could change everything. Yeah,
it change it all. So yeah, and so that I haven't decided who I'm going to hit up for that part of the week, but I'm pretty sure they're playing each other. Let me double check.
Mm-hmm. No, they are
100 proof.
Right about that.
And Mahomie, this might be
the game of the week.
The game of the week. Important for both of them. It puts some place if Mahomie wins.
Game of the pretenders.
Yeah, if it puts Mahomie in, like, gives him one more game cushion if he takes the win. Romel wins, they're tied up, and then you just got to wonder what's going to happen with Gene. If Gene could just pull away from both of them, but we don't know that. I mean, we're waiting on injuries there.
Who's Gene's matchup this week?
Who's Gene playing this week?
Gene is playing the Riddler, which is going to be tough for him.
Yeah, Cook is still playing.
Yeah, Gene. It's going to be. I like Gene's wide receivers, but the Riddler matches up wide receivers, and then Russell Wilson better than Lamar, but Cook Cook and David Johnson outdoes Fournette and Justin Jackson, and like so analyzing that. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do nicknames for all this, but I think we'll focus on those two matchups this week as the biggest matchups probably.
Absolutely.
The Riddler
playoff implications.
The Riddler and Bad News Bears. If Bad News Bears win it, he's going to, be in good position. And then the other two, Romel and sorry, we just said it. And Punk playing for playoff implications too. It's it's crunch time. I think there's 5 weeks left, so all these matchups matter for sure.
Yeah.
Looking at the other matchups, we got. I'm looking at it right now. The projected score. It's. I know Ricky doesn't have a full lineup in there, but it's even right now. We got Infirmary versus Watless, so a real barn burner there. We'll see how it goes.
Have the most irrelevant matchup of the week.
It might, Mr. Irrelevant.
Mostly irrelevant. We should have done that.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. I thought about that, making my change to get the two people with the least to gain on a call. But yes, that's tough. And then I guess we will go through the other two matchups while we're on it. I'm playing Baskin Dobbins. Should be able to handle business. I mean, again, you never know. He's got Henry and he's got Diggs, but overall, I think my squad matches up well. I'm really hoping Miles Sanders comes back soon and I'll feel better. But
what's the story with that team and Miles Sanders? What kind of injury is that? It said it was like a 2-week injury, right?
Yeah, I think he'll be back after the bye. I'm hoping. If not, a week or so after that, but I'm feeling all right. I think Kamara can match up against Henry. I mean, they're both going against stout defenses. Kamara's against Tampa Bay. Derrick Henry's with Chicago. And then he plugged and played Matt Breida with the Gaskin injury. And then, so there's not much to dive in. I'm definitely favored there, especially with the Murray trade. See how that goes. And then the other fun one for you guys, but maybe not fun as far as who's going to win, is Ghostface versus Fresh Prince. I'll let you talk
always
about that.
Always a classic matchup. Always look forward to it. And I win it's a sweep this year. So nothing better than to sweep the league owner and founder. Yeah. So I'm going to enjoy that. And there's going to be a lot of trash talking at the end.
That's good. I hope so. I'd like to hear it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I mean,
I got the best team in there right now, but a couple guys in buys, he might luck out a little bit. We'll see.
But I think it'll be fun to see what the Antonio Brown versus Marvin Jones matchup there. We'll see what Antonio Brown has coming back.
I'll put it in right in. I'm going with the gusto. I have a funny feeling. Arians is a funny coach. He's one of my favorite coaches, to be honest with you, Bruce.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah, Mr. Kango himself. I mean, he kind of was coy about how much playing time he would get, but I got a funny feeling he plays a full slate.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think Brady likes him. I think Brady.
And they already got chemistry. It's not like right.
The fact that he's living at Brady's house.
Yeah, dude.
Is he right now doing it?
Yeah. This guy.
On ESPN today.
I mean,
oh wow.
With the Raiders fiasco, I was listening to. He had an interview today, and I was laughing because they were talking about what other teams do you think about going to? Is it always this? And he was talking about playing with Brady and stuff. And then he was talking about the other people that are in the organization, and he called the dude Brian Leftwich. And I was like, yo, this guy doesn't even give a fuck.
Wait, AB called him Brian?
Brian Leftwich. And I was just like, I don't know whether he just misspoke, but I was just like, this dude doesn't give a fuck. He's just there to, I don't know. To me, he's the same old guy, but I think with Brady, he works as long as he keeps shit together.
I think
he's still talented. He's still talented.
This is his last chance. He has to. If he's trying to have a productive career and be the Hall of Famer we all know he's going to be and make some money next year on a new contract, he has to.
No, I
And I
think he
think
understands that this is his last go around to his last chance.
it's got to be. Like,
Brady stuck his neck out for him because Brady
right. And Bruce said the same thing. Bruce
Yeah.
said, "Listen, he's mature, but he wasn't all on board with that move."
No,
he wasn't.
no.
He wasn't. Remember, he knew him. He knew him from his Pittsburgh days.
Yeah.
He didn't have
Bruce
him in
was
his offense. He didn't
oh.
have him in his offense. He because I think in his Pittsburgh days he was on special teams.
Yeah.
He was.
The one wide receiver.
Yeah. You're right. He was a punt returner or something.
But Leftwich knew him, and Brady stuck his neck out for him.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I like it. I mean, it might be the difference maker down the stretch for you. I mean, you already have good wide receivers, but if he comes in and he does what he can do. I mean, we saw it like that flash when he played with Brady for like one game last year.
That one game, right?
He had that connection. They had the timing down somehow. Like, I don't know. It just looked good. It just looked good.
You know who's gonna have to put up a big face on this one? Mike Evans.
Oh yeah.
He does not have rapport with Brady right now, and
it's unusual, right?
He's just the jump ball. They're using him.
Think about it. With Gronkowski there, Brown coming in there now.
Yeah.
And you know, Brady has his people that he's gonna look to.
Yeah. Right. Especially now that Gronk's in shape, it looks like he doesn't even need Evans anymore for the end zone jump ball guy. It's like I got Gronk, who I know, and he knows what he's doing now that he's in shape. Like I got that connection with him. So
Evans a decoy now, complete
Evans
decoy.
I mean, he had a right game last week because Godwin was out, but I think when you get AB in there and you even get Godwin back playing in the slot, like Evans is going to be out there. He's going to get catches, but I don't think it's going to be old Evans there. I think he might be trying to get a trade.
It's going to affect him the most because Godwin, I agree. Godwin becomes an Edelman role, and Evans becomes an afterthought.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. Rick, do you want to say anything about your matchup versus the Infirmary while we're still here?
Well, it's hard to talk smack about the Infirmary right now. And, you know, he's what is it?
IR?
No.
The guillotine.
What's the term that you use?
Oh, the surrender. He's in the surrender. Yeah.
He's surrendering.
He's surrendering for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, listen, I'll probably, hopefully I come off with a win. We'll see. But I really can't see myself sneaking in that fourth spot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be tough. I mean, you really would need to ride Rodgers, Adams, and Hill the rest of the way. And yeah. Well, I don't know. Do we have anything else to say? I'm gonna keep it kind of short. I know everyone was looking at the elections last night and doing all that, so I didn't plan as much as I hoped to for this takeover, but I'm glad I was able to give Aaron a break and those guys a break, and we were able to.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job, so I'm glad we can do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess just props to them for all the effort they're doing. It's funny, this league seems more receptive to it than most. I know I put effort into some other leagues. I put out I think that 30-minute video at one point, and someone was like, in my other league, someone was like, I don't got time to watch this. And we're sitting here in this league watching, listening.
Basically to STFU?
Yeah, to an hour and a half every week, I'm tuning in. Like I'm in watching these things. So I appreciate everything that they're doing. I was glad I was able to give them a break.
Me too, man. And I agree. I really do appreciate what these guys are doing. And they kind of research this league back a little bit with that.
Yeah, it's changed everything.
Yeah, this league has been. I think in terms of fantasy, you got to be on it. You you got to be on there. If you're not on, you end up with a 3 and 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but 3 and 5 in this league is like 5 and 3 in another. You know what
it is. It really is.
That is true. That is true.
It's gotten very, very competitive, man.
Yeah. And if you don't come ready, like from draft day, man, it's most leagues you go wing it, not this one.
I know. I talked to Ricky. Like, I'm always mad that this is the first league I draft in because I feel like I walk out of it, get my ass kicked. But every other draft, every other draft I'm doing, I'm like, yeah, I'm killing this draft, and it's just this league. It's always the first one, and I'm like, I wish it was the second. Just so no matter how many mock drafts I do, I come in and there's that run on like fucking 18 running backs in the first like 30, 25 picks, and you're like, you don't expect it every year. And
honestly, in planning for that, because
yeah, I'm starting to plan better.
I really did plan for that run on running back.
Yeah.
And that played into the fact of me keeping Rodgers and all that, because I wasn't on top of it to make trades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of that played into the way I planned to draft in this league.
Right.
And
sometimes you're just unlucky. I mean, in this same draft, I think Fournette was selected in the 4th round.
Yep.
By Gene. Aaron picks Ronald Jones. And at the time, I thought they were
good picks.
Well, at least Jones. Fournette I wasn't so sure about. But then after that, I think Fournette gets cut.
Sure, cut, like almost before the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then he goes to Tampa, and Ghostface over there loses his shit. So
yeah, and you miss and then Mr. Dobbins, Mr. Baskin, picking up Dobbins. You think, oh yeah, he's gonna do, and look at that you got a 3-headed monster there. Same thing with Akers for you, 3-headed monster. It's like
Akers has been a miss.
Yeah,
big miss. Yeah, these rookie running backs. That's kind of the problem sometimes.
Swift.
You can't rely on them, right?
No, you can't. You think you can? I mean, Clyde looks like. I mean, usually you rely on the one that you're picking first. Like
right. I think Clyde would have been fine. I mean, again, the Le'Veon Bell thing.
Yeah, but Gibson might
year.
Gibson might end up getting more burn, and I got him in like the 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't remember.
I like the pick when you made it. I was high on Gibson, but not as high as I should have been, perhaps, because I was also concerned about the Peterson and the Geis and all that other stuff going on. But interesting thing, obviously, Geis gets cut because he does the stupid thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just the rookies you don't know. You don't know. Because he might end up being better than Akers, Dobbins, and Swift this year. Maybe
it's possible. It's interesting. I've never watched him play. I'm looking forward to watching him play.
He looks good. Good.
He plays. I think we played the Giants this week, right? Yeah. So I get to see him a little bit. I've never watched him play.
You just gotta worry about McKissick, but like most weeks, Gibson looks like the better running back, and McKissick
gets a lot of the passes.
He gets the passes and stuff, which
is weird though. Gibson's a pass catcher, so I don't understand why they even doing that. Maybe it's the pass protection.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's still
third down pass protection thing. Yeah.
I think rookies struggle with that a little bit, so I still it's probably the reason.
Could be what's going on. Yeah.
Honestly, though, the way he's playing though, and the way he's going is burning everything. He could be the back over there. They don't have anybody else competing.
No, they don't.
No, just those 2 guys. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, a 2-headed monster is one thing, but this 3-headed crap that's going on this year
it's
with
annoying.
Baltimore and the Rams. I mean, what's going on, guys?
And then usually San Fran, but Mostert seemed to take it over, but then he's been in and out.
He's just been hurt. He's been hurt, but he was running with the ball. Yeah, he looked good too, really good.
Yeah, the 3-headed thing kills me.
It kills fantasy, kills everything.
This was tough about running backs. Like it's almost like we're going back to the quarterback thing earlier. You have a good quarterback, you get away with not having a good second running back, or you have top, because you almost have to. You need a top running back, but then maybe second, you can roll the dice and see what happens.
You can roll the dice a little bit, right? A guy maybe give you 12, 13, 15 points.
But then the top teams are always going to be the teams that have 2 of the top 10 running backs.
2 studs,
like
Raph
and you. I mean, you this year too. I mean,
AJ's been AJ. I was not nervous, but you just hope you could. AJ only did it 1 year, so
I wasn't sure. I was nervous too. Yeah, but he looked good. Like I don't know.
He looks amazing. Yeah, he looks like he needs to be out there more actually.
Mm-hmm. I guess that would be all. I think we decided the matchup of the week will probably be between 100 Proof and Plunk, so I'll try to reach out to them and see if I can get them get on and discuss it. And then, thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Vern. Thanks, Raph. Thank you all for doing it, everybody.
And thank you, Germ. Thank you, Germ, for pulling us off, brother.
Yeah, man.
You too, Rick.
Good talking to you all. And
always.
I'm gonna stop recording. All right.
All right.
Yeah.